Whew. Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. Well, it's Sunday night. I know Giant fans are living the dream right now. They've got the inside track. In fact, I was just watching halftime of the Kansas City game, and they had Steve Kornacki in there putting in the playoff scenarios. And literally the Giants, if Washington loses, basically has the inside track odds-wise to make the playoffs. And if you are the tank crew, you're feeling pretty good about where we are right now. Now, Baltimore has a lot to play for because right now, Baltimore, they need this win. This is huge. Baltimore does not get this victory. It's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs, and probably it'll be a disappointing season for Baltimore compared to having the MVP and Lamar Jackson and stuff, and some of the free agents that they brought in, like my man Calais Campbell and stuff. Now, interestingly enough, I'm hearing rumors about Doug Peterson getting fired tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, because I heard Philly 500 talking about it during his live stream. And see, here's the crazy thing. I've got this thing with Skip Bayless stuck in my head because it bothers me. I never knowingly try to mislead you. I will come up with a theory, I will make the best educated guess that I can on something, I'll go back through and look at the numbers and statistics. Here's one of those funny things that, here's one of those funny ones that I'll use that, when Philly 500 was talking about how they were going to win the division and it wasn't even going to be close, they were going to win by 3 games and stuff. And I pointed out that the NFC East has been crazy because nobody has repeated as division champions since the 2003, 2004, and I'll put in the 2002. The Eagles won the division 3 times in a row. The last time being 2004. And since that time, it's always been a different team. Nobody's won back-to-back. Even after winning Super Bowls, they don't go on the next year and even win the division. And I've gone through and I pointed out that teams that go to the Super Bowl, within 4 years, they're usually a shell of themselves. You think I'm wrong? Take a look at Denver after they won the Super Bowl, where they were 4 years later. Look at the Atlanta Falcons after they went to the Super Bowl and choked. They should have won it. They were in the toilet. Look at the Carolina Panthers. The teams usually, with the exception of New England, after 4 years, it's time to rebuild and start over. And that's where the Philadelphia Eagles are. And that's why I kept going to Philly. It's not sustainable. You get fat on your, winning the Super Bowl. You think that it's just so easy that it's going to happen every year. You got a lot of guys that want to get paid. You got a lot of guys that will go elsewhere and get paid. And you'll continue to just keep, building up bills and things. Guys will get old. Guys will get injured. And you can't maintain it. And that's where the Eagles are. And we can always look and say, oh, but they were the playoffs last year, they're going to be great. And that's how I try and make decisions and things and try to get. I work hard. I try to work hard to get you to watch my channel. But when you get to somebody like Skip Bayless, who's got the notoriety, he's got the platform and stuff, why must they come up with lies? Now, again, I can honestly say, I heard rumors that Doug Peterson is going to be fired tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's a credible rumor, but somebody was talking about that, and I can say, I put the title, Doug Peterson. I heard rumors that Doug Peterson could be fired tomorrow. It could happen, but it doesn't mean it was somebody who has any knowledge of it. It was just somebody who was talking about it. And so Skip Bayless the rumor started with Troy Aikman, and then months later went back and asked somebody had they heard the rumors, like, yeah, well, you said them. So then he said, well, I heard rumors. We've heard this stuff over and over again where we've heard rumors about things and people will deceive you. And there's something so wrong about that. And it bugs me because Skip Bayless is literally like that ambulance chasing lawyer. You know, he literally doesn't care about the carnage that may happen. His whole thing is me, 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 me. And he's been doing this with my quarterback, Dak Prescott. And the sad part is because he has that platform, because he's up in there, people will believe him. They'll look at me and say, you don't have any credibility. You don't work at these stations. He's on those stations, so he must be credible, but it's full of bullshit. The fact that this guy said that Jimmy Johnson went to him and told him about the Herschel Walker trade, like he was actually consulting Jimmy Johnson about what to do. And then you got Shannon Sharp, who's in there when Mike McCarthy was smashing watermelons, turns around and tries to make that racial. Look, I'm a black guy. Come on, man. That is a reach. Haven't you ever seen the comedian Gallagher who was smashing watermelons and, then he'd do cantaloupes, and he would try like kiwis, but they wouldn't smash that good and stuff like that? Come on, man. That shit bothers me. But back to Doug Peterson. I don't think he'll get fired tomorrow. But the writing is on the wall for him, because when you hear about Jeffrey Lurie literally after a 7-on-7 watching practice, literally just leaving in disgust. When you have the players only meetings that are going on, when you look at now how Carson Wentz has literally imploded and now should be benched. Now, Doug Peterson says, well, I don't know, who's going to be the starting quarterback. We got to look at injuries. Look, we know who the starting quarterback is. You have to stick with Hurts because the team actually rallied behind. They fell short, but they rallied behind him. There was always a question with Carson Wentz with some of those guys in the locker room who thought that Nick Foles was the guy who got the Eagles their only Super Bowl. And you can put it out there that, without Carson Wentz doing what he did, and he did. He did do games early on. But when it came to the heavy lifting in the playoffs and through that run, and then the next year, when they made the playoffs, it was Nick Foles. This guy has not done anything since that 2017 season. He has precipitously gotten worse each and every year. And so that's why right now Doug Peterson needs to be in, I'm saving my job. And it's amazing how quickly that changes. After living through the 8-8 of Jason Garrett in 10 years of that situation, looking and seeing a guy who won a Super Bowl just 3 seasons ago and knowing that his ass is out is crazy. But back to our Cowboys. Right now, the Eagles are creeping up on us. They are literally right there at 3-1, 3.5 game victories. We're only half a game behind them for draft position. Now, I feel like our Cowboys for the next year and going forward, we're in a better position than the Eagles, who are truly in cap hell. And the only reason why we're talking about the Giants, and shout out to the Giants, that was a big win. That was a huge win. That was the best quality win. Your defense played lights freaking out, and your quarterback, Colt McCoy, first victory he's had since 2014. The fact that you got to win in Seattle, that says a lot. You guys are pointing in the right direction. But let's be real here. If Dak Prescott was around and our defense had basically had one less score per week, we would be blowing the division out. That's a fact. And I don't think that you guys can dispute that right now. But, you are what your record says you are, and right now we're crap. But that going forward, I think that our future is bright. I could be wrong. Jerry Jones could go ahead and say, I'm going to draft a quarterback and let Dak Prescott walk. We could have a terrible draft. And who knows? That's the great unknowns about football. But I look at our situation here, and the Giants winning, in essence, is actually good for us going forward. It honestly is. This year has just been terrible. If I had a dollar for everybody, no, I don't want a dollar for everybody that's been going through hell. But between people that have been sick, people that have lost others, people who have had marital problems and have gotten divorced or getting divorced, people who have lost their jobs, it's been just a bad year. There's no way to equate anything good with this year. It's just been butt awful ugly. And is winning the division, if we get 5 or 6 wins, really worth making the future harder? It's like, let's just get out of this thing, as uninjured as possible and live to fight another day. So we'll see what happens with Baltimore. Baltimore is definitely hurting. Who knows? After seeing the Giants win in Seattle, you could see the Cowboys winning against Baltimore. Hell, you might even see Washington winning against, Steelers. It's a crazy season. Jets almost won today. But in the end, I think that they said, hey, what are y'all doing? We want the number 1 pick. Let them go. Let them go. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys so much. But I'm going to go inside because it's cold out here. I'll see you in the morning. Early in the morning because I got to hit the road. Peace. If the fire goes out.